What is up, everybody? I am here to share my AFK gem farming guide. Now this guide is mostly targeted for lower level people because it is on the first map. But with the recent update, the first map has made some changes to make it a little bit harder to AFK level. With this guide, you should be able to overcome those changes and grind out the level even without orwin. I'm only going to be using lower level purples and blues for this as an example. Now, I'm sure you guys know that you're going to need to use Tiny Task for this, but if you guys don't know what that is, I got a tutorial in the description about a video about Tiny Task I made years ago. If you guys want to use that, there's other videos for it. But other than that, let's get this started. Alright, the first step, you guys want to create your own private server in the server list. Once you do that, you want to configure it so you can get your own URL. With this URL, you're able to paste it into the search bar, and when you search it up, it'll start up your private server. Now, once you have your private server URL copied, you want to exit out so you have your background exposed. You want to open up your Tiny Task, have continuous playback, recording hotkey to F8, and playback hotkey to control shift LP. You want to make sure you don't select print screen for any of these because it'll mess up with your copied URL. Alright, to start it, you want to minimize Tiny Task, press F8 or whatever recording button that you set to it. Once you press it, you want to click a couple times to make sure Tiny Task knows that you're recording. And then you want to open up your web browser. Now, you don't have to do this next step, but I usually do. I usually hover over my web browser and click it one more time. This is just a safety net if in case anything happens. Now, once this is up and loaded, you want to go up to the URL near the middle or to the right of it. Click on it so everything is highlighted. Press Ctrl V to paste your copied URL and then enter. This will start up your private server, and then we can actually start getting the run going. All right, with this, now we are in the private server. I usually give it a couple seconds just in case if I'm a bit laggy. But a quick tip, right between your buttocks right here, if there is a daily claim, it'll appear right here. So I usually just spam this when I'm waiting because why not? There's nothing else for me to do. And then once the seconds are over, sometimes, most of the time, the spawn point in the center are always somewhat random, just a little bit, and sometimes you get a really bad spawn. So in order to reduce the chances of that, I usually click on the summon button, and it'll always teleport me to the same exact spot every time. And I click it, I double click it, because sometimes it doesn't actually register me clicking. But anyways, I'm now making my way to the play area, which will be to the left of the summon. You can just follow my the way I take. I don't run because running also makes it a little, I mean, a few times I ran and I didn't get where I wanted to be, so it's unreliable to me. So I just walk. And then once I'm in the play area, I start running. Now once I'm in here, I just run around a bit, and then just in case if I actually didn't get inside of a cell or it's taken a while, I just run around like a maniac, and then I click on Planet Namek. This is what I'm doing the infinite mode strat farm on. And then once I click Planet Namek, I click select and I click start. Now sometimes teleporting fails and a pop-up will come up. It'll be like teleporting failed, and then you have to click OK. And it'll appear around your neck area, like right below the middle of your screen, right here. So I click that as a reassurance, and then I go back to clicking start. This is just in case if it failed. Sometimes it does. I think 1 out of 10 times for me it fails, or maybe 1 out of 20. But I do that even if I'm in the game. I do it just a little bit. I click my neck area a bit and I click start. Now what I want to do now is there's a lot of instances there's a lot of chances for me to get in the game a lot later or a lot sooner than I did. So in order to reduce and try to combine the different possibilities of me getting in a game at a different time, I wait until the starts in, reaches 5 seconds, and I click yes. I spam it for a couple of seconds, you know, just to reduce any possible abilities or anything like that. Once I click yes, this is going to be a bit different from every other video, but I'm gonna swipe my mouse down like this, right? And I'm gonna spam my right button. What this will do it will make me look downwards. I want to try to keep it as straight as possible. It doesn't really matter in the end, but I do. And then this is where I start placing my units. The way I place my units, by the way, if when you do this in game, you want to do it a lot faster than I'm doing, but I'm just showing you as slow as possible so I can explain everything step by step. But when you want to place a unit, you want to place down your unit first, like this. I'm going to do it like grid-like so I can show you guys. And then I press Q. I make sure to press Q just in case is like sometimes, let's say I'm trying to place it here, right? And it won't place. So it's still stuck on me, and sometimes I'll accidentally click somewhere and it's just a bad way to go. So that's why I press Q. And I do it right here in the middle. Press Q here, press Q. I'll do it on the road too. Well, not on the road, but like in the middle of my screen. Obviously I can't place it down. But just what if I could, you know what I'm saying? And I do a little extra just in case. I usually put my strongest units first, which would be Kizuo, but I'm doing Zenyu first instead. But now the next step for me is doing this same thing with Kizuo, right? I'll put this here. But with that, see how it's like grid-like? Now, for a fact, not for a fact, but I'm almost positive that whatever position I spawned in, whether it be like over here or to the left, I should have at least like 5-6 units down, right? I'm confident in that. So I'm going to start spamming more grid-like units, and then I'll start upgrading at some point. Usually that would be somewhere sooner or somewhere later. I'll drop some Sasuke's down. Every time I place down something, I always press Q afterwards. Always. Just in case if it runs into a roadblock like this. Press Q, it fixes everything. Now, at this point, the only thing that matters is quantity over quality. Because how this game works in most tower defenses, when you upgrade something, they usually lose damage per how much they cost, if you know what I mean, most of the time. So if you have more units, that's fine. I chose 3 instead of 4. I know people start out with 4 slots, but I chose 3 to showcase the purpose. As you can see, everything is level 5, level 1, everything is weak. I did lose HP, but that was due to me explaining things. So I don't really need to do much. But now once you got everything placed in a grid-like pattern, you just want to go over and upgrade your units. Sometimes the unit jumps and it really messes up the clicking. But now you just want to keep on upgrading. Your whole task right now is to upgrade. I'd say right now, jump in the middle, like wave 10 or something, just in case if you get kicked at like 20 minutes. I don't think you'd actually stay in here 20 minutes, but if you actually do end up staying 20 minutes, it's a good habit to have. Also, do not forget to, as you can see, when you click on this, the upgrade button's right here. Don't forget to do that for the middle section to where you placed your other units, just in case if it's still there, right? So if there's a unit here that I placed last time, and if the road wasn't in the way when I placed that, it should still be here. So I'm going to click on that and click the theoretical upgrade button, which is a little bit to the right. And I'll do that on this one. And I threw that on this one too. I only did it for the middle 3 because a lot of the times you don't actually spawn in the middle of the road. And you can also spawn on the vertical road, so the left 2 ones should work, right? I'm going to go until wave 14, I'll start selling. Now, the reason why you sell everything is that you just want to make sure that you die. So usually when you sell, I usually wait like a minute, maybe 40 seconds, depending on how far I think the enemies are. And then I click the next button. Now with this, I know for a fact that in the next 10 seconds or so, I am going to be dead 100% of the time. 100% of the time, for a fact. So I'm gonna spam this button a little bit just to make sure I accepted, I claimed, I got my stuff. I don't think you really actually need to click the claim button to claim it, but it's a good precaution. Now with this, you want to press Alt F4 to close out of your Roblox. Some of you may have an FN key and Alt F4 won't work for you, so you might need to play Roblox in a windowed mode, and up at the top right there will be an exit button. You want to click that instead. But for me, I'm just going to Alt F4, and a lot of people, this will pop up. You can either click the close Roblox button or you can press Alt F4 again. I usually press Alt F4 twice. And then when this web browser pops up, I exit out of my tab bar at the top left. Now, if that doesn't work for you guys and the web browser is still up, you can also just exit out at the top right to go back to your desktop where everything started. And then when that is done, the one thing you got to do is play back your tiny task. As you see, it's playing. It's going to start up my Google. As you can see, everything is working kind of fine so far. So I'm going to speed this up so you guys can see everything in fast motion as to why I did everything the way I did. Alright, as you can see, I spawned in somewhere different, and this is actually going to be a little bit troublesome because over half of my troops are not going to be able to spawn. But it should still be fine. I should still get up to round 10 at the very least. This is what happens. This is why I did the right click going downwards thing, because it's tiny task. The reason I do this is because of tiny task. I did rotate it a little bit, but it should still be fine. Alright, as you guys can see, I'm now starting to upgrade. I've placed down all the units I placed last time. A lot of the units got deleted by the road being placed there, and yet I still have so many on the board. This is why I have so many precautions on where to place it and how to place it. The reason why I lost so much HP is because during this entire thing I was explaining things and I was slow about stuff. In the beginning, you really want to get fast about placing down your units, but you also want to be precise and consistent. You just want to keep in mind of the lag that other occurrences or instances that you do your tiny task with has. So let's say like your lag behind by like 30 seconds, you want to make sure that 30 seconds can get accounted for. Alright guys, as you guys can see, I did die a lot sooner than I would have originally, but that's fine because as long as I get my gems, even if I only got to round like 9 or 8, I still get a lot more than I would in the VIP time chambers. I also get XP and levels. Levels being the main thing because once you get higher levels, the more units you can equip in your taskbar. This has been my gem farming guide on Anime Adventures. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this has helped. Have a good one.